been a while since I've done anything about knees, so today I'm going to cover a couple of things that I'm not all that happy with about the knee replacements, and just wondering maybe if anybody else out there has had similar issues to mine. I'm not sure, but leave a comment. Okay, the first thing that I'm not terribly happy with, and this relates more to my left knee, which was the first knee I had done, is, I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of this term called Crepitus. I think it's how you pronounce it, Crepitus. It's the sound of crunching or fizzing. It's a fizzing sound apparently when you bend your knee. This has been sort of happening for the last few months. Not so much in the right knee, although I still get it in the right knee, but it doesn't hurt. It's just an annoying sound, sensation, feeling when bending the knee. That's the first thing that I'm not happy with. And with the noise on the left knee, the crepitus, so I was so informed, is from the GP that I was dealing with, my local GP. He said it was of no real concern, and it was probably the ligaments stretching and straining. And I wasn't really comforted by that either. But he said, don't worry about it, it's a common thing. So I'm wondering, really, if anybody else has it, is it really common? I was led to believe that I was going to be perfectly 100%, but that is not totally the case. The walking and everything else is fine. That's really good. Squats, not so good. I'm on the bike most days, and that is not an issue at all. So my leg strength is quite good now. I can walk up hills and walk distances quite easily. So that's good. It's better than what it was before the operations, I'll give it that much. But the noises that I'm getting and the sensations are just uncomfortable, really, more than anything. But if anybody is out there that has these issues, leave a comment, let me know. I'd be keen to hear from other people that have had their knee replacements for 12 months plus at least now. And like that left knee, the one that crunches, is now getting up to 18 months since it was done, and the right knee is just coming up to 12 months. So yeah, so if you're in that time frame, how are your knees going? So what I'll try to do is, hopefully the sound comes onto the microphone, and this is bending the knee. Can you hear that? After a few bends it's not so bad, but if you've been sitting with your legs sort of bent for any period of time, it it sort of happens, and then the first time you get up, it really comes into play. So I hope you could hear that noise. Okay, second thing that I'm not all that happy with about the knee replacements is the clunking noise. You'll probably be familiar with this one. I'm told it's pretty common, where the kneecap clunks every time you take a step. It doesn't hurt, but once again, it's an annoying sound, and particularly when you're walking through quiet places and you're going clunk, 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 clunk. That's number two that I'm not happy with. And number three that I'm not all that happy with, it's not a major issue, but I didn't get what I considered a final sign-off from the hospital on my right knee, which I was led to believe there was going to be a 6-month review of my right knee, which is the last knee that I had done, and then that would have been also 12 months, almost to the day that I had the original left knee done. I was doing physio at the time through the hospital, and at that point I'm not sure whether he signed me off, but I ended up with finishing the physio sessions. He was quite happy with the progress, and I was expecting to hear from the hospital, but I never did, and there was never any x-rays, final x-rays to make sure that the knees were in place and so forth. But that was the third thing that I wasn't happy with, and I'm not sure whether that's, it was not through private health. The hospital itself, the bed, the room, etc., was through private health, but the hospital surgery was through public, and I'm not sure whether that had anything at all to do with it, but I don't think it was terribly comforting for me to not have any official sign-off. So that's 3 things so far. And just another thing that I've thought of, because this doesn't happen all that often, but definitely feels like a nerve pain, and because obviously they're cutting through nerves, I guess, when they do the surgery. But I get this, I've had this in both legs, and it's a sharp, excruciating nerve type pain, which doesn't last for any more than 10 seconds, but I can either get it in the quads, in the knee itself, in the shins, and in the feet. And it gets to the point where I have actually screamed, well, not screamed as such, but yelped, I guess, but and really grimaced. It becomes so strong, but as I say, that is not a frequent occurrence, and I'm hoping that will actually improve with time. But that was also another new issue that has only sort of popped its head up in the last few months. But fingers crossed, the last few weeks, last couple of weeks at least, it hasn't occurred. But just another thing, does anybody experience this as well? All these things that happen to you afterwards. You're able to walk and almost run, and do all those things after the operation, or sometime after the operation, but you get all these other bibs and bobs that sort of annoy you. Anyone else getting these annoying things happening to their knees, or from their knees, or from the surgery at least, to their knees? And while I'm on this subject, I just keep thinking of things. Numbness, a numb type feeling in the toes. Doesn't really affect anything. Once again, it's annoying. Trying to bend your toes, it's a strange feeling, and it's sort of a nummy type feeling. But once again, it's not really affecting my walking or anything like that. But it's just one of those awkward little issues that might bug some people. It's not detrimental to anything, but it's once again, it's associated with the nerves that have possibly been damaged via the surgery. But it's so I'm getting up to 5 things now. I only started with a couple, but the longer I sit here and think about it, I'm going to get more, I think. So I better stop. All right, see you next time.